Leo and Mia walked through the big forest. Snow fell softly from the grey sky. They wore warm coats and woolly hats. Their little boots made crunching sounds on the snow. The forest was very, very quiet. They held each other's hands very tightly. They were brave children, but a little lost. They hoped to find their way home soon. The path they knew was now hidden by snow. It was a cold day for an adventure. The trees in the forest were very tall. They looked like sleeping giants in white coats. Their long branches were heavy with snow. The air was cold and made their noses pink. Mia shivered just a little bit. Leo squeezed her hand to make her feel safe. "Don't worry, Mia," he said softly. "We are together. We will be all right." He tried to be very brave for his sister. He looked around for any familiar sign. Sunlight tried to peek through the thick clouds. It made the fresh snow sparkle brightly. It looked like a million tiny diamonds scattered all around. Mia pointed with her mittened hand. "Look, Leo, the snow is so pretty." The forest was truly beautiful in the snow, but it was also very, very big. They felt like tiny dots in a huge white world. They knew they must keep walking forward. Their parents would be waiting for them. They walked for what seemed like a long time. Their small legs began to feel quite tired. They were starting to feel hungry too. The deep silence of the woods was all around them. Only their footsteps made a soft, crunching sound. They wished to see a familiar path, or perhaps a friendly animal peeking out, even a small warm light in the distance, anything to show them they were not alone. The forest kept its secrets well that day. The snow on the ground was very deep now. It covered everything like a soft, white blanket. It was smooth and perfect, untouched by anyone. It seemed they were the first to walk here. The snow whispered secrets as the wind blew gently. It spoke of winter dreams and icy castles. It tickled their faces with tiny, cold flakes. This part of the forest felt truly enchanted. The children listened to the song of the snow. It was a quiet, peaceful sort of music. Mia reached down and touched the snow. It was cold and wonderfully soft on her glove. It melted quickly from the warmth of her hand. Leo scooped up some snow to make a snowball. He threw it gently at a nearby tree trunk. A shower of snowflakes fell from the branches above. They both laughed a little, a happy sound. The sound echoed softly among the quiet trees. It felt good to laugh in the silent forest. For a moment, they forgot they were lost. Suddenly they saw a most peculiar sight. In a small, round clearing, green grass peeked out. It was not covered by the deep white snow. The grass glowed with a faint, gentle light. It looked like tiny green stars on the ground. It was a very magical and surprising thing to see. They had never seen grass like this before. It pulsed with a soft, inviting warmth. The air around it was not as cold. This was a special place they knew. Mia knelt down carefully beside the green patch. She reached out and touched the glowing grass. It felt like soft raindrops on her fingertips. It was not wet, but cool and very gentle. Leo touched it too, his eyes wide with wonder. "It must be magic grass," he whispered in awe. The air around the grass felt strangely warm. It was a secret circle, hidden in the snow, a place of wonder in the cold white woods. They felt a little bit of magic there. As they marveled at the magical grass, a new scent reached them. It was a wonderful sweet smell. It smelled like warm cookies baking in an oven, and like rich chocolate and colourful candy. They decided to follow the delicious, sweet smell. It seemed to pull them deeper into the trees. Their little tummies rumbled loudly with hunger. They almost forgot that their legs were tired. The scent promised something truly amazing. Hope fluttered in their young hearts, and then, through the snow-laden trees, they saw it. A small, charming house stood in a sunlit clearing, but this was no ordinary, everyday house. The walls were made of golden gingerbread. The roof was tiled with shiny chocolate squares. The windows were crafted from clear, sparkling sugar candy. It was a house made entirely of sweets. It looked like something from a dream. They blinked their eyes to make sure it was real. It was the most wonderful house ever. Candy canes, red and white, made the porch posts. Colourful gumdrops lined the pathway to the door. Giant lollipops grew like bright flowers in the yard. Every single part of it was made of sweets. It looked absolutely delicious and utterly magical. Mia's eyes grew as wide as saucers. Leo's mouth dropped open in pure astonishment. They could not believe what they were seeing. It was a fairy tale come to life before them, a sweet haven in the cold, snowy woods. "Is it truly real?" Mia whispered, her voice full of awe. She reached out a hesitant, trembling hand. She gently touched a gingerbread wall near the door. It felt real and slightly warm to her touch. It smelled wonderfully real, spicy and sweet. It was, without a doubt, a real candy house. The children looked at each other with wide eyes. Their hearts beat fast with excitement and wonder. Should they dare to go a little bit closer? The temptation was almost too much to bear. Leo, feeling brave, took one small step forward, then he took another and another after that. Mia followed him closely, her eyes fixed on the house. They walked carefully up the gumdrop-lined path. The air around them was thick with the smell of sugar. It made them feel happy and a little bit dizzy. They were not scared anymore, not even a little, only curious and suddenly very, very hungry. Each step brought them closer to the wonder. The house seemed to beckon them forward. Leo reached out to the gingerbread wall. He broke off a tiny, tiny corner piece. He popped it into his mouth with a smile. "It's real gingerbread!" he exclaimed, his eyes shining. "And it's the best I've ever tasted!" Mia then tried a small piece of a sugar window pane. It melted sweetly and instantly on her tongue. It was the most delicious candy she had ever known. They giggled with delight, their hunger growing. This house was a dream come true for them. Suddenly, the lollipop flowers in the yard began to spin slowly. The chocolate tiles on the roof started to shimmer. The gingerbread walls seemed to let out a soft sigh. A warm, inviting light began to glow from inside. The door, which was made of a giant cookie, creaked. It slowly, slowly opened all by itself. Leo and Mia held their breath, watching intently. What or who would come out of the candy house? They stood very still, waiting for a sign. Their adventure was becoming more magical. No person or creature came out of the open door. Instead, a gentle, kind voice whispered through the air. It seemed to come from the very walls of the house. "Welcome, little ones," the soft voice said. "I am so very happy to have visitors today. Please, do come inside and be warm and safe. I've been so very lonely for so long." The candy house itself was alive and speaking, and it sounded so very friendly and sweet. The children smiled. They had found a new, sweet friend.